Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today I got to sit down with my good friend Mo. We spoke on a lot of things, really. We spoke about friendships, football, what's going on now, work, relationships, food. It was cool. We sat down, we spoke for ages, and it just felt, it felt good to get him on the podcast for the first time. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get to it.
Imagine how many times, say, the few times or the times we've come up here and had breakfast, done ice bath, whatever, and then just had a coffee and talked here. Imagine how many times you could have just not even done a potty, but just slapped headphones on, pressed record, and just talked.
Yeah, we've talked about some pretty deep shit.
Yeah, or just heaps of stuff, in general.
Just what's going on, eh? Around
literally.
Or what
it doesn't have to always be a podcast format.
No, just more of what's going on with you. Good mates that are just chatting.
100.
People kind of listening to that, man. Well, look at it.
Man,
I look at Joe Rogan.
I get
listen to all that stuff.
Super interested in that shit.
Because you find out, you know what it is. I don't
even know what it is.
No, this is what I think it is. Because when I listen to it, it's say I listen to Joe Rogan, and his mates talking. It feels like you're actually there, and then you actually know Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I haven't physically met him, but
Yeah.
you're kind of man, I know so much about this dude.
Mm.
And you kind of put yourself in a class of their friends.
That's true. You feel like that when you watch vlogs and that too. Just when you're just watching stuff.
Do you reckon
or especially when it's it feels personal. Not personal, but say you're vlogging, how they're on the face camera or whatever.
Yeah.
You feel closer than you do when you watch a movie or something.
Do you reckon that's why people always tend to watch a lot of people's vlogs, because they feel a part of who that person is and what they're about?
100%.
Say with YKTR.
The weirdest thing is they might not even be doing interesting shit. Or not interesting, I don't know what your class is interesting, but do you know what I mean? You could just be watching them go for a walk and then have breakfast.
Oh yeah.
And it could be half an hour long.
I've never watched that.
Thing.
I've never watched anything like that. But
or maybe not that boring, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they'll just be doing something normal and then you just end up watching it.
He's cooking dinner with his missus or something.
Yeah, and you're oh, he does that.
Oh, they got such a cute dog.
Or you might pick up on something random too. Might be he might say if he's cooking or whatever, he might have a thing seasoning the steak, and he's got to try this.
Oh yeah.
And then you're
go try that.
Then you might pick up a nugget or something.
But
just one thing.
What about how when people watch some of the same vlogs or some of the same YouTube people,
on repeat, or the same person?
No, just the same person. Say there's people that watch the same person, and then when you meet up with your friend, you're talking about that person.
Yeah.
It's oh, what about how they went to here? I so want to do that one day.
We do that all the time with Rogan. I noticed we do that a lot.
Man, 100%.
But because he's he's an icon.
But what about, say they've got
especially in the podcast world, he's fucking.
Say they've got Tammy Hembrow, yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, it's all the girls are used to be in love with her. I don't know if they still are or whatever. She's friends with Kardashians or something. I'm pretty sure. And my missus would always be talking. Oh, look at this, about Tammy and. Or saying to her friends, what about Tammy Hembrow breaking up with her partner? I was bro, that's how crazy it is, eh?
Girls fall by into that stuff too.
But exactly what you said, so do we with Joe Rogan and, talking about stuff. But it's probably more...
Same sort of thing, just different topics maybe?
It's probably more worrying about life and
we probably think it's funny when they buy into stuff that we think silly, but then they'd think the same.
Girls?
Yeah. They'd look at the stuff we buy into, and then they'd be like, why?
Yeah, why
so
listen to that guy talk shit for 3 hours?
Yeah, literally. But then we're like, what's the same thing with the Kardashians or whatever? Oh no, I haven't dig at them, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
Mm.
it's pretty crazy what YouTube and that's doing.
You
Just
can
all social
get-
media.
You can get so caught in it too, like on YouTube.
The rabbit hole.
How deep is it?
The click. Just keep clicking the next one.
Clickbaits.
When
The
you're
whole just goes.
when you're on something good though, like it's just,
I don't mind not wasting my time. I don't mind spending my time on like good stuff. So if you're like on something that's, you know, like actually valuable, like educational or whatever, maybe not so much entertainment.
that's like when
Try to limit entertainment.
you were asking me
Just
about the philosophers and stuff.
Just when you're talking about it.
When you get on a clickbait of that,
Yeah, that's what
like,
I mean. Yeah.
that's when you see new people
Yeah.
and you hear stuff and you're like, oh, who's this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And then next time you'll have him in the bank that you're just going to listen to him as well.
That's the kind of rabbit hole you want to jump down. There's like 2 hours of philosophers. And then you're like, it's 9 o'clock, bedtime, or it's midnight.
Oh, it's 2
Oh, bro, I've been doing that too much lately, eh?
2 a.m.
Nah, not... Yeah, actually. I've done it a few times this week.
because footy's off.
Oh, not a few times this week. Like a few times since I've footy and worked.
Being
And then
cut.
it's like... I'm still living a good lifestyle. Like eating well and training and all that shit. Like I think I'll always do that.
Yeah.
Maybe not forever, but like till I'm fucking old. But yeah, just staying up like real late.
How's your sleep?
It's not too bad.
Do you sleep good? Do you wake up in the morning and feel like,
fine,
fuck, I can go all day?
Yeah,
You do?
I think, and I don't reckon that's a good thing. Like sometimes like the other night I went to sleep at 3.
And you woke up
And
just
I
like,
woke up at like
"Ooh."
10. And then, but it's like hit and miss.
Oh, this is when you're not working.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some days I'll wake up and I'll be like, pumped. Like, I could train 3 times today. Then other days I'll do the same sleep pattern. Like I'll go to sleep late as. This is just only last couple of weeks because no work. I'll go like sleep like 2 or 3, wake up at 10. And I'll be like,
Busted.
yeah. I'll literally wake up thinking, fuck, is today a rest day? Like not even want to do anything.
And other days you're just like,
And then
let's
others I'll
go,
be like,
man.
let's go.
That's
Probably,
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Maybe
But either way, I don't reckon. Like I need to get out of going past bed past 10.
100%. Did you listen to the podcast like that Matt Walker fella on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, the sleep one. How it even generates like cancer symptoms and that.
Yeah.
Like goes that deep. He reckons nothing less than 7, eh?
Yeah. 7.
7 is like minimum.
And once you've lost sleep, you just can't regain that back.
And he was saying, I think Rogan asked, or if the doctor already knew, I can't remember what it was, but at one point they referred to naps, and Rogan was like, do naps help you catch up on sleep?
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, no.
You've lost that, brother.
He's like, but he says naps are still good.
Mm.
Like they're useful, but you can't use them to catch up on sleep.
Yeah, he says if you've gone to bed at 5, if you've got 5 hours sleep and you wake up the next day and you're like, fuck, I'm tired, you can't have a nap like twice that day and be like, oh, I'm sweet. You've lost that and you've aged yourself.
Yeah.
So you've actually aged because you haven't got the adequate amount of sleep. He was trying to say, wasn't it?
Probably one of my favourite podcasts, recent ones.
Crazy, yeah.
Like I haven't listened to like thousands, but I've listened to a fair bit over the last couple of years, and that'd be up there. And then that's what happened to Bo.
Oh yeah,
Bo Chords.
Shout out Bo Chords.
Shout out to Bowie. I literally listened to.
Tell that story, man.
I listened to the okay. Bo Chords is one of the boys that we play football with. I know him from back home. I think I've known him. I met him in 2013. I went home. So I used to live at home, and then like home back in New Zealand. Then I moved to Aussie for footy, and then my first summer in Australia, I went home for Christmas. And there's like this training camp that I used to do every summer, and Bo was in the camp when I went home.
Oh, so you knew him from way back?
Yeah, I met him in 2013.
Yeah.
So I came here, I was already here for pre-season, then I flew home for Christmas. Then when I was home, I hit up the coach of the training camp, and I was like, oh, I'm in town for a couple of weeks. Is it all good if I, like, jump into your sessions? And he's like, yeah, of course, because I've known him for a while. Good dude. Steve Roberts. And then, yeah, so I met Bo there, and, you know, just, like, met a few of the boys, and then got to know him more through footy and that. And then anyways, I listened to that podcast last year, maybe halfway through last year.
Yeah.
Halfway through 2019. And like pretty much the podcast says, you know, sleep is real important, blah, blah, blah. But there's one bit and they're like lack of, I can't remember exactly, but it's like you got different stages of sleep, hey?
Yeah, you've got...
and if you don't get enough of the, is it REM?
REM sleep's the
Is
one
that the deepest one?
No, deep. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Deep is the deepest, bro.
Yep. Oh, is it called deep? Anyways, the deepest part of the sleep, if you're not getting enough of that, or something like if your brain's not getting enough time to dream at night, then it starts putting your dreams into daytime.
Into reality.
Yeah, into reality. Like, what's it called? Hallucinations.
Hallucinating, yeah.
So I literally listened to that podcast like 2 weeks before Bo started getting sick. So because Bo we were like still training for footy and all that, and he was working, and they had just found out they were going to have a second baby. So Bo's got 2 kids. Hudson's his firstborn son, and then they had just found out they were going to have his daughter, Jordan. And so he was like, they were living off one wage because his missus Kayla was a stay-home mum.
So he was starting work at what time?
Bro, early. Like he was getting up at like 3.
And then
3 or
going
4?
all the way through till about
3.
And then go to footy training.
Yeah, I think he'd start work at like 6 or 5 or something. He'd have to get up real early though. And it was like a labourer's job. Then he'd work all day and then he'd
go to footy,
pretty much straight from work to footy, and then
get home at 9
and be like a, you know, the dad for the last bit of his day.
Yeah.
Like the kids, Huddy was probably already in bed, but, you know, then he had to go home and...
Well, you had to be that person
still
to
have
his
to be
missus as well, you know?
have to be switched on. Still got to be switched on when he gets home because his missus wants, like, you know...
time together, yeah.
Like time before bed to talk over things and whatever. Yeah.
So that
it
went
just started all catching up with him, like all piling up, and he was just getting like bad sleep after bad sleep, and then the stress is building up because they were living off one wage, and he knows now that he's going from 3 to 4 members of like 4 family members, so he's like trying to get his head around everything, and then it all just like crashed, eh?
And then he started hallucinating
Started
in real life
hallucinating,
and stuff,
Started hallucinating. His I hope he doesn't mind me talking about this, but his I think it was his grandma or his granddad like passed away a while ago, and Kayla said one night he was like just standing up in their bedroom, kind of like half asleep, half awake, and she was like, "Babe, what are you doing?" Like hop back in bed, and he was like, I can't remember the name of his grandparent, but he was like, "Oh, blah 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 is just talking to me, like we're just talking about a few things." Like, and he was just staring at the corner of the room, just like talking to the wall. And Kayla was like, "What do you mean?" And he just laughed and then just kept talking, and then kind of just got back in bed. And then she told him that in the morning, and he was like, "I'll never do that." Like, what are you talking about?
That's like paranormal activity for
and she was like,
partner,
there was like a good couple months where she was like, not freaking out, but a little bit.
You'd just be thinking, what's fucking's going on here, man?
Yeah. And Bo, like, I'm pretty close. Like, I'm pretty good mates with Bo.
Yeah, Bo's a legend.
So I used to, like, I was hanging around his house a fair bit when he was living here. And, yeah, she was just, like, they're pretty open. And, yeah, Kayla was just telling me, like, heaps of this shit when he was sick. Like, first started getting sick, and I was like, I was just trying to get around there, like, often, and just help.
Yeah,
we could and things like that, and then that's kind of how it started. And I had listened to that sleep podcast from Rogan, literally like 2 or 3 weeks before it started happening.
Yeah, and
so when she was explaining everything, when she was explaining all the stuff, I was like, "Holy!" I've just watched the podcast on this like 2 weeks ago. I literally know exactly what's happening.
Were you
Not exactly, but like
you were like,
not exactly. But I
tell
was
me
like,
more. I'm like, I know what's going on here, bro.
bro,
Mate, you need to listen to me. You need to get more sleep, brother.
bro, I was honestly like, it's his sleep. And she was like,
You start charging him money for. It's been like, look, I'm $50 an hour, but I can get him to sleep, I reckon.
all right, bro, I know what the problems are. It's going to come around mine.
Just relax, I got this.
Bro, proper. And I was like, holy, it's his sleep. Like, it's his sleep. And then she was like, I can't remember like if we had an exact convo about it, but I was like, it's his sleep. And I remember telling him. And then once I heard like, once Kayla actually fully explained like his day, I was like, some days he's getting like 4 hours sleep.
It's just crazy, yeah.
Like consistently though. Like consistently 4 hours. Not just like once a week. Like the Monday to Friday of that week.
Fuck, that's how you shave like years off your life, bro.
And then he was just doing that like for a while. Maybe not a while, maybe like I'd say at least a couple of months.
Bro, that's
at least a couple of months.
That is how hard people
imagine how tired you are.
Players in the intra Super Cup and 20s work, man. Like they got 9 to 5s or even like just hard labourers jobs. And then you've got training, which is like pretty similar to an NRL training, and just all compacted into 3 days a week though, and like compacted into 3 hours like on those days. And it's like it's full on. Like you come out of there and sometimes you get home at 9 and you're just like, fuck, I got to cook dinner. And then get up and go to work. Whereas NRL, you kind of like, you might be finished at 4 in the afternoon. You're still training super hard, don't get me wrong, but you finish at 4 and you go home and chill and you recover and then but that's the perks of being in the NRL.
Yeah, for sure. And they, like, shout out to everyone that's, played or been in the system or whatever.
Yeah.
They've worked hard to get there. So, that's like, that comes with the job. You get the, you earn the perks.
But it's just crazy that we put ourselves through that.
A situation to get that to that level.
It's crazy how much you put yourself in that situation, because then you look at just people that aren't playing league or doing that, and they've just got 9 to 5s, and like some of my mates, and they're like they're enjoying life and chilling, but we choose to be like, let's fucking flog ourselves for 8 months to a year, or no, longer than that. And that's pre-season.
It's 11.
11.
We get
you
October
get a month
off. Actually, if you don't make finals, which obviously you want to, but if you don't make finals, you get September off.
We've got a lot of fucking free time now, though.
So if you're in an average team, you get 2 months off.
Yeah. We might have fucking forever off, bro.
Yeah, it's
who knows what's going on there. What did you
the thing with our like the lifestyle we live with, like playing cup and all that. You can't complain about it either.
No,
like as tough as it gets, like at any point you could go, I'm done with footy.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Like at any point you can walk out of that lifestyle. I guess that's with any lifestyle. You can always change the next day. But at any point you could go, if you're proper over it, you could go, I'm just gonna stop. I'm not playing anymore.
You've still got this thing you've still got this thing over your head, man. Like until you deal with that, like you're trying to reach the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And then when you pull the pin, you kind of got a bit of doubt and doubt in your head, like you didn't make it, or you didn't do the right thing, or people are going to think you shit because you didn't make it. And that's going to, until you deal with that, then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why so many people, I think, hold on to footy. But a lot of people also hold on to footy because they just love playing it, being around their mates and stuff like that. But for me, I think why I've been holding on to football for so long, while I was, is because like I still wanted to make the NRL and still wanted to like pursue it so hard. And then when I stopped playing for a year and a bit, I was like, I missed it. I fully did miss it, but I also missed like trying to pursue something.
Yeah. Yep.
So I get that. Like when there's a couple of sayings that I really like when you're not growing, I think Paul Check says, when you're not growing, you're dying. So you always got to be striving to better yourself, because that's how you grow. Put yourself under stress, pressure, and that's how you grow.
Even just yeah. That's with everything too. Even just little things like the ice baths and that.
Yeah.
Like stress the body, calm the mind.
Yeah. 100. Yeah. We just
That is just little things like that. Just little battles.
little battles every day. Hey.
Yeah. And if you're winning them, then you're slowly stacking things up.
And you lay your head down that night, and you're just like, I've done the best I can today.
Yep.
And that's when you know. How bad is it when you lay your head down?
Every day, you feel so good.
But what about when you don't? How bad does that feel?
It's such a roller coaster, eh?
And when you feel like that, when you don't do it, and then you lay your head down in bed, and you got that thought in your head of, I didn't do the best I could, or I fucking skipped this or whatever. That's when you reach for your phone and you get the fuck out of the real world, bro.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Maybe
you don't sit there and think about that for a long time, man.
Nah.
Because that will eat you up. So you grab your phone.
It's probably why people have their phone on them heaps.
A lot, because there's a lot of shit going on in their life that they don't have the tools to deal with.
Yeah, literally.
So that's why everyone's plugged in. Because when you're not plugged in and you just sit and you're sitting on your chair or sitting out in the sun and just chilling by yourself, how many people do that? Not many, because all thoughts come to your head about fucking, why haven't you done this?
You can't get away from it. It's like when you
until you have tools to learn how to do that, to deal with it,
Yeah, for sure. It's like when you finally put down your phone and you close your eyes. As soon as you lie down in bed, like probably nothing, and then you go poof. As soon as you lie down, everything, all the things that you maybe subconsciously have been trying to avoid during the day come straight back. Even just little things. Like say if you...
Why didn't you do the fucking dishes, motherfucker?
Yeah, just little shit. Or like, say for example, the ice bath's always a good example because it's tough. Yeah. But it's a short battle. If it was 5 minutes and you got out at 4.
Oh.
But you don't say it to yourself when you do it. You just get out and you're like, 4's enough. And then you get in bed and you're like, why didn't you do the last 60 seconds?
Shouldn't have got out at 4 minutes.
Literally. You're like, you ask yourself as soon as you get in bed, why did you get out with a minute to go? And then you just start fucking with your own head.
What about with food, man?
Oh.
Why'd you eat that block of chocolate?
Food's the worst, bro. I went down the road.
Why'd you eat that block of chocolate?
You know how I came home? How I came to yours in Riley's car today? I went, because my car didn't start yesterday. Must have been the battery or some shit, I don't know. So, and because I was coming up here today, like to train and, blah, 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 put in that. I was thinking, fuck, who can I ask? It was either buy a new battery early this morning or get a car. And I was like, I can't use a few options. I was like, I can't do that, can't do this. So I was like, fuck, who would let me borrow their car? And I was thinking, Osha's up this way anyway, so I had to get someone that was down my way. I was like, fuck Riley. So I messaged him, he was like, yeah, sweet. So I went got an Uber to his, grabbed the car. On the way home, stopped at a gas station, chucked some fuel in. And I went inside and I was like, probably shouldn't get anything. Ended up getting like a muffin, ice block, milk chocolate.
What else, bro?
Bro, I got to the counter with like 3 things and I was like, shouldn't even be buying this.
But there's this little one going, buy it, motherfucker. Buy it.
And
and then when you buy it, it's like,
caved in majorly. What was it? It was like muffin.
Don't even enjoy it, eh? You want to get it down so you don't have it anymore. No one sees this wrapper in my car, bro.
It was like a muffin, ice block, and a chocolate milk. I like nothing like crazy. But I was like, it was like a 10, 11 at night. It was late as. Because it was when I was messaging you, what time you want me here. So I was trying to sort out how I'm going to get here. I was like, I'm not Ubering there and back, like, no way. So I was like, so right as it's sweet, I was like, sweet.
Should have told me to come pick you up, man.
And I went, nah. In the way, like, I don't know. That's another thing, bro. I don't like being a fucking burden.
You're not a burden, bro.
Even this puree, I just scanned 1 on your card.
Shout out Puree Waters, man.
Not a burden, but like...
Shout out Puree's Australia's purest water, BPA
good,
free.
Man. I don't know what you guys are doing, but you're killing the water game.
Zero chlorine, fluoride, 0. We did a little 100 chins, 100 dips today. It was pretty tough actually, yeah.
Sub 30
minutes. Give that a go. 100 chins, 100 dips. Time yourself. We did that, then had
2 people. You got to get 2 people under 30 minutes though.
Yeah. What did we
which
get?
is
28.50,
28.30,
28.30.
which is easy or hard with two people.
Nah, it's easy. It's
Reckon?
easy because you've got someone there to push you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you get 5 and I'm thinking, fuck, I don't know how I'm going to get this the next 5, and then you get them
Do you reckon
easy.
it's
I'm like,
easier.
yeah.
It's definitely easier on the motivation side.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's slower?
I think
If you take the motivation out, do you reckon it's slower with two people?
the time is the hardest thing. When you click start, that's the hardest because you're battling something. You know
Battle.
what I mean?
Another battle.
Another battle. But when you don't and you just cruise and then you look at the clock, you're like, shit, we did that in.
Is
like
that a
however long.
small battle though, or is that a big battle?
That was a big battle today.
Yeah.
Time.
Is training though? Training
And with a timer.
Is training small or big battles during the day? I'd say training's a big one.
There's the when you get there, there's a battle, and before you go, do I need to train today? I'm feeling a bit sore.
Get in there is a battle. Get into it, even if it's just outside. Like, you know, the chin bars in the backyard. Even just walking out there.
No, I reckon
like
that's.
if you're on the couch or whatever, you might be like.
Or what about if you go out, you do 10, you're like, nah, I'm not feeling it today.
How many times do you do gym, and like you're a little bit sore, and then you just convince yourself for the whole session, you're like, oh.
Or you rock up. I'm getting on the assault bike at the end.
It's
the end. Nah, I'll do assault bike tomorrow.
Tomorrow's not promised, man.
Oh, 100%.
Get it done today.
Then we did 100, then we jumped in the ice bath out the back at 4.8 degrees.
Was it 4.8?
Yeah, and then we had a
What was it at last time? Bro,
ice bath.
Last time was cold.
Yeah, it was 1 degrees.
Yeah.
Had to chunk up the ice.
You can I don't know if you feel it more because you know the numbers, but I swear you can feel it more when it's just that few degrees less, like lower, colder.
Yeah, your toes just start freezing up.
I hopped in today and I was like, bro, I haven't done this, like it's been too long. That's how hard it was.
What's your
like I genuinely hopped in like, this is trash. Like,
that was a battle for you.
Straight away. But like ice baths it's such a good example. They're always a battle.
Yeah.
But today I was like, holy, like I wanted to give up straight away.
Yeah, you could see it on your face when you're in there. You're just like, bro.
And I was trying so hard to like just.
But now, how do you feel when you've done that? It's just like, fuck.
You always feel better after anything hard, but it's doing the hard thing.
Were you ever like this when you were 18?
What do you mean?
Like how you are now? I know. You change.
Thinking pattern.
Obviously, you change and stuff. But were you ever so much into like food?
No.
Training and like health. Not saying that you're fully into that, but I'm like you do prioritize that.
Nah. Like I always like tried to live a healthy lifestyle, but it slowly got like expanded more. You know what I mean? So like, say for example, through high school, the main focus was like, let's just like eat like we're trying to gain muscle. So it's just like slowly through high school, I was trying to learn about food and then
look good for girls.
Yeah, little side byproduct. Yeah. So it was just like learning. Like through high school, I was literally just maybe not always, but like on the laptop, just trying to find out what is good to eat for athletes in general.
So you're doing that in high school?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, eh?
But then I just like, but then I look at what I used to eat now from then, and I'm like, fuck, heaps of that was just like unnecessary.
Silly.
Just like so much rice.
True.
Yeah. Like heaps of potato, heaps of rice. Because I was always trying to put on weight.
Did you eat much meat then?
Because when I first got, I was 16 when I first moved over, and I was like 86 kilo. 16. Which is, might sound big or small to certain people, but like at the time I was like, fuck, this feels so small.
Were you small for your age then?
Especially for footy players.
Were you small for your age?
Oh, yes and no.
Medium.
Like I've been this height for ages.
You're medium, eh?
6'1".
He's tall, girls.
6'1".
He's tall.
Yeah, no, I've been this height since maybe like 14.
Yeah.
Pretty much started high school. I was like about this height. but I never felt like thick. I just felt like tall-ish. Not tall, but like, you know, taller than average.
Where were you born?
In Auckland. West Auckland.
Firstborn?
Nah, second.
Older sister, eh?
Mm.
So you grew up in New Zealand for 16 years?
Yep.
15?
Yep, 16.
And flew over here and lived where?
In Sydney.
Oh, you lived in Sydney?
So, 16, because back home there's, we go to year 13. You'd know.
Yeah.
In Australia it's year 12, in New Zealand it's year 13. But it ends up being the same age anyway.
Yeah.
Like you finish at the same age. So we must do like, we must start a year earlier.
You start earlier, yeah.
We must do. We must start primary a year earlier. But anyways, I moved over here. We moved to Sydney 16. I was turning 17. And I was year 12 back home, which is year 11 here.
Where did you live in Sydney?
So when I first moved over, I moved to like the Manly area, like Northern Beaches.
Were you struggling? Were your parents struggling then or not? Did you move over with your parents?
No, I moved over alone.
So you signed a contract over there?
I was a training trial for SG Ball.
For Manly?
So SG Ball is the under-18s comp in New South Wales.
For Manly?
So it was just a training trial. Like no money, nothing.
Family over here?
No 20s contract, like guaranteed.
Family?
No.
It's like a Sean Kenny Dow story, man.
Does he have a similar story?
He like come over like backpacking or something and
True.
then like got a training trial and that.
I didn't have family over here. I did, but not in Sydney. Or I did in Sydney, but like, because Sydney's so big, they were like, they lived way out west.
Did Manly look after you when you come over? Like have you in a house and other boys in there?
Yeah, they were pretty good.
That's pretty good, eh?
Like even for a kid that's just on a training trial, they looked after me like hectic.
And then you
like
ended
put
up...
me in a house. They put me with Latrell Shomkel, the Shomkel family. And at the time, he was playing 20s. So he's like 2 or 3 years older than me.
He was meant to be a gun, wasn't he?
He was a gun too.
Was he?
He talk about sleep patterns. He used to stay up all night playing PlayStation and then go to work. No sleep. He wouldn't do it like all week, but yeah, swear.
It's crazy.
And when the first house I moved into, it was in Allambie Heights. It was like on a main road. And my room was kind of near the lounge. Maybe like a room, a couple of doors from the lounge. It was pretty close to the lounge. And if I came out in the middle of the night to like go toilet or get a drink of water or whatever, he'd just be in the lounge. Just gaming.
What's up, man?
And when like I was still young, I was like 16, I was like, fuck, maybe sleep's like not that important. I knew it had to be to some degree, but I was like, maybe we don't need a whole lot of sleep. Because then he'd either go to sleep with like an hour or two of sleep or none. So game all night, go to work, come home, 20s training, dinner, gaming. Like dinner, like we'll chill out, and then he'll just, once everyone goes to bed, he'll hop on like the PlayStation in the lounge.
Hectic out.
He'd have headphones on or whatever, like it wouldn't be like super loud.
I've never been a big gamer. Oh, I have been a big gamer, but not since I moved out of home, bro, because all the consoles are at home, so I never played.
Yeah. And then, yeah, always would be up late. And then, but he was killing it too.
Killing the footy.
Yeah, like starting 20s, starting winger.
Were you just young and full of testosterone?
Yeah,
it
must have been something
let's
like
go.
that. Had to be. Playing good footy. Like, obviously, we used to go watch the games and that because I was living with the family. Playing good footy, athletic, trained hard, like had a real good training attitude.
Yeah.
And then so that like that first bit, I was like, maybe
this is fucking easy.
I was like, maybe sleep isn't that like overly important.
Like, Mum, can you get me a PlayStation? Oh, I need to stay up and play late. So you got a 20s contract after that? Or
So I moved. So my manager, when I was living back home in school, my manager rang me and said, "There's an opportunity at Manly. It's a training trial for their SG Ball comp, which is their under 18s. But I was turning 17 and the comp didn't start till next year. So I would have only had like one SG ball season. And like, because I've always wanted to play like NRL and that sort of level. So as soon as he said, I was like, yep, like I'll just take it. And he was like, a train and trial means you don't get paid. You're not guaranteed a spot. You're not guaranteed a spot in the squad. You're just a train and trial. Like you're literally just training until you prove yourself. And I was like, yep, let's go. I'll take it.
That's what make you grind, eh? That's like, yeah, let's
100.
go, man, let's go.
And I was really like in that
Doubt me.
mindset before Manly.
Yeah.
Like that mindset started around like 12, 13. So like, yeah. And I was just like, fuck, let's go. Like I'm keen. So then we organised it. They sorted me a house to stay with the Shonkles. Then I moved over. And then, yeah. That was my first full preseason from like November to, I think, Feb.
Yeah.
SG Ball starts earlier than normal.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's like February or
the
something.
early games.
But even then, only 3 months of preseason, I was like, holy, this is long.
I'm going to do another 10 years of this. I love this shit.
Actually, that summer camp that I used to do, where I met Bo, Spartacade, that was a November to season thing too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just
So actually, I had done training like that, because the guy that runs it, Steve Roberts, he knew that, he knew that's how the system works. Like they start training in November, so he'd start his camps from November to March, back home in Auckland, and heaps of kids, like obviously because we don't know the system, like we don't know that, proper seasons start in November. We just be like, what? That's crazy. We're doing 2 months before Christmas. And he'd be like, yeah. He knew all this stuff.
How old are you? 15.
I was like 14 when I started with him. So I did 2 summers with him, and then I moved to Sydney.
So, and then
when I was doing it, I was like, November? What?
Just crazy.
Like, what? That's so like... Yeah. And then when I moved over... when we first found out that the Manly thing got set up, and they're like, okay, first training is November 3rd. And I was like, that's when I was like,
I've been doing this shit since I was 2.
That's why when I heard that, I was like,
let's go.
Okay. This is where...
And you played 20s? Played 20s after that for Manly?
Trained the SG Ball season, played the SG Ball season. I actually missed the first 2 games. The seasons, because the SG Ball season's only like 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Excluding finals. And I missed the first 2 because I did my syndesmosis in a trial. It was against the Raiders. Trial against the Raiders.
Move over and then injure yourself.
And I did this syndesmosis, and I don't know if you've ever done syndesmosis, but it doesn't feel that bad. It just feels like a bad sprain. So they chucked me in a moon boot, and I was like, they're just being precautious. I was like, this is like a 1 week thing. At the time I was thinking I shouldn't even be in a moon boot. This is stupid. And then I went and seen like physio and physio the next week. And he's like, you've done syndesmosis. And I was like, yeah. I didn't know what it was. I was like, sweet. So like, what is that? And he was like, 4 to 6.
Oh, yuck.
I was like, what? Days? Weeks? I was like, whoa.
Yeah, mate, you're going for 6 weeks, mate.
When he said 4 to 6 weeks, I was like, And then I was like adding it up, and I was like, if I can cut it down to 4 weeks, I'll only miss 2 games. So I was like, that's the target, round 3.
Pretty much the whole season of
round 3.
Of SG Ball.
So the trial was like 2 weeks before round 1. Yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay, yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, fuck, if I can cut this down, just rehab like hell, if I can cut it down to 4 weeks, I'll only miss round 1 and 2. So I was like, okay, round 3 is the target. And then my first SG Ball game was round 3 against Newcastle Knights in Newcastle. And I think we ended up losing. And they only gave me like 20 minutes. The coach was like, I'm going to play you, but because the predicted time's like 4 to 6, he was like, because you're coming back right on 4, we're only going to give you 20 no matter what happens during the game. And we're just going to give you 20 at a certain point, so just be ready. And I was like, okay, sweet. So I came on, I think like the second half, and it's getting towards the end of my 20 minutes, I came on at back row, and the game was like neck and neck. And I was like, don't take me off. Like, I'm sweet. First SG Ball game, like first game in Australia, first game under like NRL club. And it got around like the 20-minute mark, and then the trainer comes on and he's like, "Oh, like that's your 20, like let's go." And I was like, "No, those hero ones. Tell him to leave me on.
Tell him to fuck off.
I'm straight." Yeah, I was doing it. No, come on, like just leave me on. Like it feels good, and it did actually feel good. But he was like, "Nah, like you're coming off. They've got the sub card. Like get off." I was like, "Fuck, okay." I was like, "Whatever." Came off, had the maddest little sookie on the sideline. Not like a major one, but I was proper off it.
Took your shoes off.
And then like watched like the last maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of the second half. We ended up losing. Oh. I went straight into the change room,
Crying, eh?
Dramatic.
But so now you're at Norths.
Shower on cold.
Yeah, you're at Norths.
So yeah, SG Ball season. Got offered a 20s contract after the SG Ball season for 2 years.
Yeah.
2015 and 16. Played those. Move up to Sunny Coast at the end of 20s.
That's right. Your
for
family
a cup
lives in Sunny
contract.
Coast now, eh?
Yeah, my family live up there now. Moved up to Sunny Coast for a season. Signed 1 season with the Falcons. Didn't end up playing that year. Played cup. Didn't end up playing cup that year. I was 18th man like 5 times. I don't know if he was just doing that just to like keep me interested, but
yeah,
feels like it now. But at the time I was like, I want to play, man. Next week. 4 or 5 times 18th man that year. So that was 2017. And then I moved to North.
Like it here, eh?
Culture's hectic.
Sick culture. Sucks about footy now, though. It sucks, man. It sucks in a way that the NRL is going to be, I think, fucked.
It's different.
And it's going to affect us. How much money you get paid and how much time you put into the footy. Like we were speaking about earlier. I said it's like you put a lot of effort in, like how we were talking about Bo with his sleep. You put a lot of effort in and
so
stuff.
Many,
and if
like
you're getting paid peanuts,
yeah,
like the pay's not that good as it is now. Like, you know, you get underpaid as it is, I think. Like for the amount of effort and stuff you put in, it's the second tier to NRL.
Yeah.
And like,
and money's not everything, but it's such a big jump down.
But
you're only 1 grade below, and the pay cut is not pay cut, but like there's a massive pay difference.
But you're putting a lot of time and your energy and effort into it, and
for sure,
which is cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that now that it's going to be interesting to see what comes from that. Like, you're putting all this time and effort in. Do you do it for the love of the game? How old are you?
Yeah.
What value is going to have a family? Like, just heaps of stuff, man. Injuries. Like, do I keep doing this or do I find another venture?
For sure.
I think it's pretty crazy that that's going that way. You'll go put off your job up here too, eh?
Yep. Job. My boss had to close down pretty much her whole business, really.
What are you doing now?
So I used to do. I just wanted something easy on the body during footy. Yeah. So I used to do delivery driving, and I'd go to like a market. There's a market in Brizzy down in Rockley, and I'd pick up produce like fruit and veg every day, every morning, and then it was just a small business. And my boss, she was a lady. She owned 3 cafes and 4 restaurants, and I used to just pick up the produce and then drop it all off to the
just a
6 or 7
courier.
spots
You're
or
a
whatever it
courier.
was, pretty much for food. Yeah.
Shout out to that job, man. I know
Fat elephant.
I know little things that went on behind closed doors. That
Fat
was
elephant,
good.
mate.
You're
Yeah.
That was a good gig for you.
And she was a good boss too. She's cool. She's real cool, and she's understanding. And
I would hit you up, bro, to train, and you'd just be like, during the day, like, because I do youth work, so I was off. I only work half the week because they're long shifts, and hit you up to train, and it's like, yeah, I can do this time. It's like, are you getting paid during these hours, brother?
Little lunchtime, smoke guys and that.
Just getting paid.
She was good, she was a cool boss. And then if she ever asked me, like, not that it was often, but if she ever asked me to do overtime, I'd always be like, yeah, sweet. Just because she was so cool.
Yeah, but your hours went, like, your overtime wasn't 5 p.m.
And my work week was like 11 hours.
Can you do overtime? Cool. I know you finish at 1 p.m. Can you do overtime to 1:30? You're like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. holding that against you, but
can I get off half an hour early on Fridays?
You're gonna knock off at 10 on Fridays. Nah, she was cool. But then because of this whole like coronavirus thing and the lockdown, well, not full lockdown, but all her cafes and restaurants had to close down.
That sucks.
All of them. All
the
seven,
workers.
or 6, 7.
All the workers are gone.
All the workers are gone. She stood down everyone. So she's trying to, I guess, like hold on to it until it clears over and then just open everything up.
Her main focus is reopening.
And everyone is just back into employment. Like everyone back into their roles that they were in before. Which is like so hectic on her because imagine going from like 6 or 7 cafes, restaurants, like cash flow, and then boom, like nothing. And she's a pretty smart lady, so she might have like other side hustles or maybe other businesses.
Imagine how many people that has affected, like that are on the same boat. What about Rowan, our coach?
Hectic. I seen him yesterday.
How was he?
Me and Paul went into to catch up, or not catch up with him, but we went to Norths to see if we could use the gym. Because like a few of the boys got weights and stuff at their house.
Yeah.
But
training from home, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's training from home.
It's so much better. Like I miss a proper gym.
Sick gym there.
Yeah.
At Norths.
So we went into Norths to try ask if we could use the gym. And then Ro was in there.
No.
And we're like, can we use the gym? And he was like, probably not.
Why he's in there pumping the gym? Nah, not enough room, boys.
Like, I understand if they pop into the gym or whatever, because they all work doing that. Especially, like, even Mersey and that, like, that's their workplace.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I guess it's, like, a bit of a grey area. But, yeah, I was like, oh, fuck. And then, yeah, so me and Paul...
But he didn't mention anything about his work, like how his work's going or anything like that?
No, so I think we're like... I think Paul said, like, oh, you're on annual leave or something then. And he was kind of just like, yeah.
I think he's on annual leave for a little bit.
Yeah.
But like his situation where he's like, he's getting all his money. Like all his money is in rugby league. Oh, that's where he's getting his most of his income. And then he's got 2 kids and like Lauren, his wife, looking after the kids.
Renting maybe or something.
Yeah, he's renting. I'm pretty sure. But like, just to know that your job's done for this year. I know, like, I don't think that he's going to see his contract, like, not see his contract out, but he's not going to see all his money in his contract. You know what I mean?
No.
He's only got his annual leave, and then Norths are like, yeah, man, we can't afford to pay you. Like, so I think he's sorting out other avenues, but that's like so many other people.
Yep. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. Not just for him, for the club, players, just everything in general, footy.
So crazy.
Even outside of footy, just everything. The world, Yeah. But yeah, so my work got cut off, and then I think footy got cut off before that.
Yeah, your work would have got cut off straight after footy, pretty much. Yeah.
So we.
So, footy's done, but work's still all good.
Pretty much got notified about footy getting cut off, and I was like, oh fuck, that sucks. Like that's like the main passion sort of thing. But I was like, okay, work Monday to Friday and then figure out what I'm going to do this year. And I got that. It was pretty much that Sunday night. I got like a massive text from the boss. And it was just like a general text that he shared, obviously sent out to all their employees. And it was just like, apologies to everyone, but every roster's cancelled. I'm going to have to suspend everyone's working contract. I have to stand everyone down as of tomorrow morning. And should have like, I'd say over 100 employees, I reckon. Maybe not.
Hard to say. Crazy. That's hectic, eh?
But if you see someone, because she runs like because she's Thai, she makes like Thai food. So her restaurants are like Thai restaurants, and then the cafes are just normal cafes. And bro, when you go to like her Thai restaurants during peak hour, there'd be at least 20 employees in there. like bartenders,
True.
chefs. Like the one in the city, it's called Fat Elephant in the city, PHAT elephant, pumping.
Really?
So they open for lunch.
Yeah.
And then they close a couple hours and open for dinner. So sometimes when I was going to do the food produce drop off for if I was there dropping off during the lunchtime period,
Yeah.
pumping.
You get little free feeds and that?
Yeah, the chef's always offer, eh?
Sick.
Every time, every day. Mo, have you had lunch? And I'd say yes like once a week. Just like a little Friday treat.
Oof.
I don't want to say yes every day, eh? I don't know,
I might stop asking her.
Feel bad.
Wait, how did we meet? It's North, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when you first got to Norths, you came in as a PT.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I just finished.
You were a little
footy.
bit, you're definitely a little bit smaller then too.
Bro, remember I was
sure.
trying to tell you like how to squat properly.
Yes. Holy. I remember you for that.
Oh, you get a bit lower, brother.
Oh, and then I'll be like squatting or whatever. And I try to get a bit deep and you're like, yeah. Good stuff, man.
Just
hovering.
Can you fuck off, mate?
No, it was good.
And then I'm walking away from that. I'm like, fuck, I think Mo likes me, eh? And then Mo's like, fuck, you get this little dude out of my ear, eh?
I think Mo likes me. Fuck off. Fuck no. Nah, it was yeah. I'll remember the squat thing for sure. That's so buzzy that you remember that too. Yeah. So
We'd say we're pretty close friends now, eh?
yeah, for sure.
You're one of my closer friends, bro.
Yeah. For sure.
Like I've got all my mates back home, and that's different friends, bro,
It's
compared to my
vibe,
footy
eh?
friends, man.
Yo.
Like my footy friends are more like
I feel like
we're kind of growing in a sense of like we all kind of like similar things.
Yeah.
My friends from back home, we all like similar things as well, and they're growing as well. But it's like a different connection when you speak.
Yeah.
You got like your lingo.
That's just time though, I reckon.
Yeah, you got your lingo with your mates, your footy mates who you see like a fair bit of the time, man. Like unless they're leaving teams and you're leaving or whatever, and then you see your mates from back home that you see like 3 times a year, but you spent your whole like younger years growing up with them.
Yeah,
it's
different,
weird, eh?
different periods of life.
It's crazy.
But that's what, bro. I like. It's one of the most like simplest quotes or whatever. But time will tell.
Yeah.
Just that quote alone, I love that quote, eh? Just 'cause like it's so true with like everything in life. Like time will tell. Like the more time you spend doing certain things or hanging with certain people, like those things will manifest. Whether it's like friendships, relationships, hobbies, even bad hobbies, like little ego hobbies.
Fuck! Imagine the knowledge if you like got massive group of different friends who are into different things.
Oh.
Imagine the knowledge when you're 80 and you got grandkids running around.
For
like
sure.
You've had your kids and you got grandkids, and it's just like thinking back to all the. I wonder if you remember shit that we remember,
even
like when you're 20,
even
vividly.
Yeah, for sure you would. Because whenever you hang around like grandparents and that, they're always like, they always recite stuff, you know, or they'll always like they always talk about stuff.
But do you think you'll be the grandparent that? Do you think you'll be the grandparent that grows up and you're still catching up with the times and stuff?
Catching up with the times,
like the music and like shit like that. Like you into music that your kids are into, or you still?
Probably not.
That's weird.
I feel like you get to a certain point where you just like cut it off. You're like, okay, everything that I like from this era, that's me for good. Like,
because we haven't been alive long, bro. Like,
nah.
Like, I wonder what it's going to be like when you're 50 and
24.
Are you still pumping?
26ish.
26ish.
Yeah. So yeah, there's still heaps of learning to do. Heaps, and growing. But yeah, the friends thing from back home and here, like totally different. Even if like you might say, like, because I'm still close, like my friends from back home, we might not talk every day. But if I go home, I'm like, bro, I'm in town for like a week, let's catch up. If we catch up, we could do this for like hours, just talk. And then like it's actual catch ups. Like, bro, how's life been? Like, what have you been doing?
Back at home.
Yeah. When you catch up with a good friend that you haven't seen for years,
Yeah.
or like a couple of years, even a year, you'll be like, bro, what's been happening? And then he might be like, new missus, been going out for a few months, you know, or whatever. Or he might be like, oh, I started this new job, you know, totally ditched my old idea of what I thought I wanted to do.
It's cool to see your friends from back home like growing up, eh?
And then you're like, bro, that's hectic. So good. But then, because of footy over here, because you spend so much time with this group of friends, then it's almost like you're like learning things together. Or like, especially if you hang with a group that want to grow or learn things, then it feels like the more you do things together, the more you grow and learn together, the more you like.
Yeah, you're making experiences together.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're seeing each other.
But it feels like when you put experiences, the more experiences you do together, then the closer you get with people. Which sounds kind of obvious when you say it out loud. Yeah. But
that's cool.
When you think about it, then you're like, huh, that's so trippy.
But you know, it's crazy when you're playing like footy teams and you become real close friends with mates and stuff, and then like they move on or you move on, and then you just don't speak to them.
Yeah.
And then you become real distant.
Yeah.
Or not distant, but like you just like, oh yeah, he's doing well. But is that how that's type of friends as well, bro? Surely you can't be close with everyone, eh?
Nah, you can't. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you try to reach out to heaps of people that you've been friends with and you've had a good connection with, you kind of.
I feel like majority of the people that I've considered like really good friends, I could message like any other day, and they'll be like, they'll reply, or like reply properly. Yeah, but I feel like it's definitely not as broad as you think it will be.
Nah,
it's definitely like a select few.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
for sure,
you're gonna have barbecues around.
Because you got some pretty close friends in Brizzy now, eh?
Man, not like
through footy or in general.
Nah, man.
Both.
Like we're pretty. I know people I know.
Yeah.
Like I know a fair few people in Brisbane.
I remember hearing you say that you and your brother are close.
Yeah, we speak.
But you've never looked at him like a friend.
Yeah.
But he is a friend.
Yeah, massively.
Like brother first.
Vibe off each other.
It was good to shout out to Jackie.
Shout out Jackie.
I only just met him this morning too.
Cool cato.
Yeah, vibes, hectic, actual good energy and all that.
It's like when you're around him, he has good energy, but when he's around people that he doesn't vibe with and stuff, he just
his energy's off.
No, he just won't be there, man. And then people would be like, what's wrong with your brother? And
not
it's just like, no, they'd just be like, oh, like what's wrong with like Jack? Like for instance, say my mum and my nan come over, right? And me and my brother are so similar, but my mum and my nan are like they just love to chat and love to like gossip and talk about this and talk about that. Yeah. And me and my brother are just like not really into it. Yeah. And then so you would think looking outside in, my brother's being like snobby or not like, which he isn't. Like he's not being snobby, but he's not interested. So he's just
not present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just gets himself out of those situations.
Yeah.
So if he's around people and then won't see those people again, you might have a first vision of Jackson. First impression of him being like, nah, he's like weird or something like that. But he's just like his vibe.
It's funny how you can feel when someone's not present. Not even like just being on their phone. Like that's a good example of when they're just sitting on their phone. But you can pick up on a lot of things about people or on people
from
just anything like
body language,
little things. Yeah. Body language, replies, conversation replies. Like say if you say something, I'll be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, just little things. Body language especially.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can I don't know if it's like just me or us or whatever, but you can pick up on energies of people like straight away.
100%. You're gonna, bro. How
But
about
like that's most people. I'd say most people can somewhat pick up on energy levels.
everybody?
Not even energy levels, but like the vibe people are putting out.
Man, walking.
Because when he first pulled up, like obviously we were training, but I was like straight away just chilled. Like I was like, "Sup, bro, man?" And he's like, "Hey, bro,
yeah.
Jack." Like just chilled straight away, and then like it's like first impressions are so massive, like more important than people realize. Because then when fish like shake his hand or whatever, "Sup, bro," you're like, "Oh, he's just chilled, so chilled." Jumped straight and shirt off.
He's like
Started pumping chin straight away.
can't be too chilled, but he's just like next level. It's like
He's good. He's just like Jay.
Jermaine.
Yeah, used to live with one of the footy boys. Used to live with,
To Noah Brown.
Jermaine to Noah Brown.
Shout out Young Maney.
Young Maynux.
Get him on the podcast soon, actually.
He's just like him. Oh, Jack's probably a little bit more chilled, but not by much.
Yeah, Maney's chilled as
Yeah,
How
he's just low
crazy is-
maintenance.
How crazy is Jermaine's story, man?
Yeah,
Like we played football with Jermaine last year. He was even going to stay and play with us this year until pre-season. He would come to a couple of sessions, hey? 1 or 2. Then he
When?
took off.
Last
Pre-season.
year. Yeah, did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I seen him once.
No, I think he was gone before preseason. Just because he came to
Maybe it might have been before. I seen him, man. Oh, I forget where I
he
seen him.
came to prize. What's it called? Prize giving. He was at the prize giving because he left Melbourne to hang with his family before he moved to Auckland, and then he flew back up for prize giving just for the weekend, and then he went back down to Melbourne, spent as much time as he could with his family, and then went to Auckland for the Warriors.
And then played NRL.
Yep, debuted round 1 this year.
Training trial. Nah, signed. He was signed, but they're like, no, training trial, bro.
Preseason was training trial.
Training trial,
And then
preseason.
just before round 1, they signed him.
You got to work for a
Or
contract,
just
brother.
after. Must have been just before, so he could debut.
I watched him play against Knights, man, and
That's when we were at Mackay.
yeah,
For
first
round 1.
round.
Yeah.
Not being silly, but and just because he's my mate, I reckon he was probably
The best forward
best
on the
forward
field.
on the
yeah.
field. But I'm not
I've
looking
heard a
at it
few
as in a
people say
sense
that.
of running meters and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
just his 1%ers watching it because he's my mate. I was watching him off the
Way
ball
more.
heaps.
Yeah.
So he was doing like kick chases, like all
Yeah.
that shit. I'm like, bro, he's working so much harder.
Yeah.
And that's credit, bro, because that's come from a lot of that stemmed from Norths, because that's what Rowan's heavy on.
Yeah. Bro,
Kick
Yeah.
chase and all that
It's a
stuff.
good,
Skill.
it's a good brand of football that Rowe pushes. It's like the stats are important, but they're not everything. And then he just like highlights certain things that even I hadn't thought about, even during 20s. Like none of that. Like even just playing with genuine skill.
Passing.
Not genuine skill,
Passing.
but maybe like genuine footy, like eyes up on every play.
Yeah.
Like not just getting to a point to get to a point. Maybe if the plan is to get to there and then you have a look outside and you're like, fuck, that guy's in real tight. I'll just tip it on and see what happens. That's like, not everyone plays like that.
Bro, I heard like Reed Mahoney or someone saying that.
Is it the hooker?
Yeah.
The Eels?
Andrew Johns was like teaching.
Is he
him-
young?
He must be.
I'm pretty sure he's young.
He's from Sunny Coast, bro, I think.
Is he?
Is he?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm talking shit. I
We're
don't know.
chucking yarns.
He's
You have a GST on the top.
oh, he's from Sunny Coast, bro. I swear.
Salt and pep.
Yeah. He was saying that Andrew Johns was like coaching them, like doing halves and hookers coaching at Parramatta. And I'm pretty sure, I hope I'm fucking not wrong here, but he was saying that Andrew Johns was teaching them to look at the other players' eyes where they're looking.
I believe that. Just, yeah, I believe that.
You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
like, look where their eyes are, and if it's out the back, you're hitting short.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean?
I believe that coming from Johns, the 8th.
That must mean you must have like so much time, like you got you're so present and you're
Yeah.
just like looking at like
Good-
you're just slow, like
Bro, good players are present. Like, I mean, not present, but like, yeah.
just
Say
got time,
present,
eh?
but like you watch the best, and you're like, fuck, that dude looks like everything's in slow mo.
Yeah, when I get the ball, I feel like I run 3 steps and then that's me done. Like I'm tackled, everything's happened.
knock on.
Next minute, someone else has got the ball. But when you watch someone else knock on, when you watch someone else, it's like, oh, he's just had the ball for a minute.
Yeah, literally.
Me, it's like done. Play.
Honestly, feel like sometimes I catch it, 2 steps, and they're there. You're like, what? And then you watch, like, if you do video review or whatever, or you just watch the game back, you're like, holy, I ran for like 7 meters.
I ran for 20.
Did I get a field? Nah, yeah. And you're like, I had so much time to make a decision. But in the moment, you're like,
Done.
Play the ball. Tired already. First carry.
Yeah. Blowing it.
Blowing. It's been 39 seconds.
What do you
So funny.
with Norths, like obviously Rowan's like a cool coach and stuff, and he's taught us a lot. We've all taught each other heaps of stuff. What are your how you finding the carnivore diet? We've been jumping on the carnivore diet for a while though. How long you been on the carnivore diet for?
Since the 2nd of Jan. So
That's a good stint.
Because when did you start? Maybe not. When did you start doing it?
Like November?
Yeah. So you started during preseason, eh? And I knew, like, I slowly was hearing a bit more about it through you and like Ro, and then to an extent, like Ro's brother. I like don't talk to him or nothing, but I knew they were like, you know, in circles or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you were doing it a bit, and Ro talked about it a bit, and then I was kind of like getting my head around it, really, because
It's not that hard to, eh?
nah.
But when at the time you're like,
But even at the time, like, I'm always skeptical on like new diets coming out. Like, I always just thought, if you just eat clean, if you just eat good meats, good veggies, greens, whatever, if you just eat good food, then you don't have to change your diet. Like, good food in itself is a diet, kind of, or lifestyle. But then, you guys were talking about it a fair bit, so I did a little bit of research on it, like, in the first part of preseason. And then coming into Christmas, I was like, fuck, I might give this a go. Because I wanted to try it way before round 1. So that if I did it, say, for like a month, and it wasn't beneficial to me,
change up.
then I could be like, okay, I'm going back to normal, or like to how I normally eat.
And how quick did you see results?
Probably genuinely like 2 or 3 weeks.
Crazy, eh?
Depends what kind of scale of results you're talking about.
And we're keeping each other accountable. Or not keeping each other accountable.
I'd say 2 weeks. 2 to 3.
Because we're all posting what we're having for dinner. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Gorilla.
So it was coming into like the Christmas period. And I was like, okay, well, like I was still going to train while we were on break. But I was like, I'm going to enjoy food, like normal food during this period. And then New Year's, I was like, okay, like 1st of New Year's, after like New Year's Eve, I'm going to have one more bad meal.
Yeah.
Get it out. And 2nd of Jan, I'll start. So I made sure I knew like all the background stuff, like the purpose behind it, the meaning, what to eat.
And we just ran with it,
how often, how much I needed to buy. So I got all that stuff, like all that info before Jan 2nd. So I knew as soon as Jan 2nd comes, boom.
Straight in.
Go grocery shopping and straight, like, hit the ground running.
Don't need much at the grocery store, but
No. Don't go to Woolies anymore.
Butcher.
Take a left straight to the butcher. Jan 2nd, started the carnivore diet.
And you're still going, eh?
Yeah.
Like you're going to have like days where you said
now?
the other day.
Started April 2nd.
Yeah. But
January,
you were saying the other day, like you still like very like unoften you'll get like sushi or something like that.
Yeah. Like I still have like bad meals here and there.
Yeah.
But predominantly is like carnivore. And then
there's something about it, man, that's just like that's how you're meant to be eating, eh? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of what's the word? Like a lot of, even when I was doing the research, a lot of like ancestral,
yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Heaps of that stuff about it was making me like, okay.
I read this book recently called Weston A. Price, and he's like this dentist who went around the world back in the day and did like a lot of, and studying indigenous cultures' teeth.
Yeah.
all around the world, man. And he
Their
found out,
teeth.
their
True.
teeth. So seeing how many cavities and like
Mm.
how their jaw lines look, their nose, if they were breathing properly through them, if they were breathing through their nose
Mhm.
instead of their mouth. He was doing that way back in the day. So breathing through your
True.
nose is obviously better, yeah. And so he was doing all that around the indigenous cultures and was seeing cultures that were pretty much untouched, as in a form of they weren't getting food from outside sources.
Outside world.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the indigenous cultures that were kind of on the brim where the cargoes or whatever was coming, where they
Mhm.
got introduced to what they'd say white man's food, like bread, sugar,
Yeah.
flour,
Is this a doco or a book?
book.
True.
And he was going through showing all photos and explaining how the cultures that were eaten to their roots,
Mhm.
how they developed, and the crazy numbers of like how clean and perfect their teeth were.
True.
And then like I was reading like in the Pacific Islands and stuff where like they were just eating starchies like taro, potatoes, sweet potato and that, and then we're just eating land, like our land animals.
Really?
Like whatever, because
Yeah.
animals kind of got bought there.
Mhm.
I think he was trying to say. So
Yeah.
so pretty much just meat and root vegetables, man, and like bit of fruit like bananas or whatever. But
Because then they brought in like the animals and stuff you're talking about. Because a couple of diseases came with that, eh?
They would have. Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
Like I don't know much about it.
but he was
But I just
showing.
know
He was
that
showing
things-
that the indigenous people, when they were getting exposed to like bread, sugar,
Yeah.
and all artificial stuff, as the kids were getting born
Messing
in
up
that place,
with
all
their
their teeth were like crooked. Their
True.
they had heaps of cavities. Their nose and bone structures were thinner.
True.
Instead, like when you look at like the oldies from like the islands or whatever, and their noses are wide as, and they've got real strong jawlines. Their teeth are all, you know what I mean?
It's so much more deeper than you realize, eh?
Even the Spanish men, their jawlines are like,
True.
and their
And
noses are like,
and they've developed that strong just from like eating
just eating, yeah,
raw, not raw, but like
how they're meant to eat,
raw
yeah.
foods.
So I think, for me, man, I think it's like berries, nuts,
What's that?
meat,
like a little
and like, I think root vegetables do have a little bit of a place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
they're from the ground, like
What was it?
a caveman kind of.
There was like a saying. I can't remember where it's from. I can't reference it properly. But
That's
it was
clean
like,
eating, bro.
It was like if it bleeds, swims, or grows out of the ground. That's your diet there.
That's clean, man.
When I can't remember who said it. It might have been someone on a Joe Rogan podcast, and he was like, if it bleeds, swims, or grows out of the ground, then
You're good.
you're good. You're sweet. If it doesn't, if it's not any of those three things, then it shouldn't be going in your mouth.
That's a crazy lifestyle to adapt to, hey? No chocolate, bro.
It's good when you think about it.
Could you have 90% dark chocolate?
Swim, bleeds, or grows out of the ground. That's all the good stuff. When you think about it, anything good for you, like eating wise, is one of those three things.
Do you reckon you could do that 100% fully in? Boom. That's me. Bang.
Yep.
Fuck everything, bro.
Yep.
Put chocolate in my face.
I wouldn't mind trying it.
Forever, man.
No. Maybe like a month or two. But absolutely strict. Like literally, if it's not one of those three things, I'm not eating it.
Let's fucking do it.
Just try that.
Let's
You
do
want
it. Well, man, because I've been carnivore,
this will
not
keep
like,
you super accountable.
because I've been carnivore, not I've been carnivore for a long time, but
How have you found it?
Remember
the
back
carnivore?
last
You like
year,
it, eh?
I
I
was
like
just
it.
like on another level,
Yeah.
man. But because now the New Year's come in, and then there's been like stuff going on,
Yeah.
and just I got injured, and I
Mm.
was just like thrown out a bit. I was still mainly carnivore, but I was dabbling in like other, like I was getting takeout and whatever, like whenever I felt like it.
Yep.
So I said to myself, okay, this month, like April, I'm going month, boom, straight carnivore, hard.
Yep.
But carnivores, then's no like real rice or
Yeah,
starches. So maybe that's cool, man. Let's just go a month.
So that's no rice and shit then, eh?
That comes out of the ground.
Huh?
Yeah.
Shows how much little I know.
How about we just go meat, fish,
I could do it.
berries.
It'd be tough, but I could do
Are
it.
berries out of the ground, bro? Yeah, we've got
Yeah,
to
they have to be.
Yeah.
Surely.
Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe he's talking about that grows in the ground.
Yeah, or like, you know what I mean. I don't know what he meant.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
okay, yeah.
Natural, pretty much.
So what are we going to go? Meat, fish,
Any
eggs,
meat, any fish,
nuts, berries, and starches.
pretty much.
Like
Milk and
sweet potato.
Milk.
Yeah, I'm going to have some raw milk.
that. Yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah, month? Hard?
1 month.
Strict.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
What's today?
Second, maybe? No. I don't
No,
know.
but what actual
Second or
day? It's Thursday. What if, not like a 30-month day or whatever. We'll do bang on 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Starting,
Now.
I'll have to do some food shopping.
Yeah.
That means would be still carnivore, but adding a bit to it.
Yeah.
Adding veggies in that.
I'm not going to add really that many veggies anyway.
It's
I don't
kind of
think.
almost what we're doing.
Yeah.
Really. It's just cutting out the snacks.
It's just doing it for
Those gas station
doing it
snacks
for
on the
4
way home.
months. See how it goes. Yeah, locked in. If anyone else wants, to, no, we'll be done by the time this comes out, bro.
But yeah, I'd give it a go
Yeah, let's do it.
for sure.
Wow, what do you reckon, bro? That's it.
That's us. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for jumping on, bro. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, just look who this mad dog is. Moses. Wait, how do you say last name?
Noovao.
Noovao.
Mcgreal. It's a bit of a
Mcgreal.
tongue twister, and
Where's the Mcgreal from?
it'll take 2 hours to spell
Oh.
out. So
Where's the Mcgreal from?
that's my old man.
True.
Yeah, so he's Irish. So my old man is half Cook Island, half Irish, and my mum's full Cook Island.
True.
Yeah, so I got to call it Irish. That's so Mcgreal's the Irish, and then Noovau's the Cook Island side.
Mcgreal's related to McGregor, surely.
That's your man.
Surely. Nah, yeah.
The Notorious.
That's it. Nah,
Yeah.
thanks, bro.
Nah, all good.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Let's go.
See ya.